Hey everyone, welcome back. As you saw from the last video, I decided to just do one layout per video for time and space wise, and to give you guys a chance to finish that layout before we move on to the next one. So we are about to move on to layout 2, and if you pull out your instruction guide, you'll see the picture of the layout here, and you will see the directions. Now I have the finished layout here in front of me, but I am going to move it aside and we are going to start assembling. Okay, so pull out your pre-cut pages that we did in our early video. Let me get these out of the way. Okay, so we are going to lay these out, and we're going to start kind of by puzzle piecing it out to make sure we have all of the pieces we need. Okay, so I like to kind of lay the pieces out where they go by just looking at the instruction sheet. And on this page, we're doing a double mat, so your photo will go on top of that. So I know that's gonna go there. And these are the journaling strips that they will end up right over here. And right above that will be another one of our fun banner pieces, and we're actually doing a double mat on that as well. All right, and then our little 1/2-inch border strip of background and texture paper, and it looks like we have everything laid out. Okay, so just real quick, talking about design. This I carried over this piece of background and texture paper because I used it over here. And I used it over here because I was using a solid background of the pixie pink as the base of this layout, and I wanted to bring color into the layout. And so I chose the multicolored pattern paper that was in the pack that also had the pixie in it, but the pixie played a minor role in the background and texture paper. So pixie is the dominant color you see in the background. I wanted to pull it in again, but I only wanted to pull it in minor amounts so that I could highlight other colors as well. So based on this pattern of paper, I chose the Lagoon and the Candy Apple as the two accent colors that would complete the layout. So the reason again I pulled this over is because if I had a multicolored piece on this side, I want balance on my layout, so I want to pull the color across. Okay, same with Lagoon. Lagoon is over here, right? Well, I wanted to pull that again over to this page, and there just isn't enough of that in the strip. So that is why I chose the colors the way I did. So let's start assembling. All right. And in the instructions under base, it's basically the only base thing we're going to do is we're going to start by attaching this pixie cardstock piece right on top of the pixie base page. Okay, so we're going to create that continuity going across the page. Okay, and on the skinnier strips, I do like to go down the entire edge because I don't want any bubbles. Right, that's just my personal preference. And I'm going to turn it towards me so that again I can put this corner down on this corner and just at least get that one corner lined up. Okay, once it's lined up, I can shift it around to get this edge lined up. And I set it down, it looks good, then I'll press on it. Okay, that's just a little trick to make sure you're getting your edges lined up the way you want. All right, so now I'm going to add the zip strip, and again, because it's a tiny border piece, I personally am going to put tape on the whole edge because I want this to be attached down firmly and not get any little ripples. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed them. Let me get my glasses on, but I've noticed them, and it's one of the things that bug me. Not a lot of things bug me because I am I don't do a ton of measurements. I just eyeball everything, but when I write up the directions, I get out my ruler and measure it to put the directions. So I I'm not super anal that way, but I don't like the ridges here, and I don't like rough edges on the borders of my cardstock. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and set page 2 aside so that we can just work on page 1. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to attach my photo mats together so they're ready to go. And see, I don't use a ton on these because I am not worried about the edges not being flat on these. It adds nice dimension. All right, the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to attach this floral background and texture paper. And if you want it to look exactly like mine, it says that you'll attach it approximately 1 inch down from the top. So I'm going to use this white paper. You can also use your Versamat. And I'm going to add my adhesive. So it says attach it approximately 1 inch down and 5/8 inch in. And that looks about good to me. My only thing I care about is that it looks straight. Boom. Okay, now we're going to do our banner edge. So you're going to get out your trimmer and you're going to set it on your trimmer and you're going to look at it and say, okay, it's 3 inches wide. So the halfway point is 1.5 inches. So I'm going to move it over to 1.5 inches on my trimmer. Make sure it's tucked tight to the top. And then I'm just going to slide up about a little more than 1/2 inch. Okay. Then I'm going to grab my scissors, which are right here. And I'm going to cut from this corner straight up. Boom. And from this corner straight up. There it is. All right. So now what I'm going to do is in the directions, it says attach the Lagoon cardstock 1 inch up from the bottom of the floral. So that's about right here. And okay, so the floral, that's about right. So the floral about right there. And slightly overlapping. Sometimes when I do banners, I look at where I want the banner point to overlap. Do I want it to look exactly in the center? And the answer to that most of the time is no. I don't want my point to line up right on the line, if that makes sense. I like things to be offset, so I'm just gonna, boom, do it like that. All right, now you can add foam tape behind this guy. I might have gone in a little too far. I'm gonna offset it this way. You can add foam tape to this little guy. That is what Dana would do. Dana loves her foam tape. There we go. I'm gonna do it and yep, but I'm not. So if you wanna add foam tape, go for it. Add a lot so your picture doesn't sink. And we're gonna attach this puppy right down. All right. Now we need to get out our stickers, and we're gonna grab this, and we're using this large flower. Well, I'm gonna start with the Hello Sunshine. Okay, pull it up gently. You don't wanna rip your sticker, and it's one big sticker. I'll tell you guys a trick that I often do when I'm crafting at home. After I get this sticker off, I'll show you. All right, FedEx just dropped off a package. So excited. I'm gonna poke that out, center out. Hopefully you can't hear my dog, but if you do, it's because the FedEx man rang the doorbell and he gets all jiggity about that. All right, so I'm just gonna add some foam tape. I like my foam tape to be not too close to the edges if I can help it, because I like my images to look like they're floating, not having furniture legs. On the skinnier ones like the H, you can't help it. So we'll just add our adhesive. I clearly have the wrong scissors here. I like our micro tip scissors that are the non-sticks because the adhesive doesn't stick, but I was in a hurry and I grabbed what was sitting around. And to be quite honest, since this whole quarantine started and all of the kids have been home, my scissors tend to disappear a lot because they use them for everything. And even go into my classroom that I teach in, my local girls know, and they take them out. And that's where I am right today. I'm in my classroom because it's been such rainy weather here in Oregon that you can't imagine how bad the lighting is in my office. And when I use the aught light, it just gives a weird glow. So hopefully you guys are getting all your adhesive, your foam tape on, just like I am. If I go too fast, just pause the video, no big deal, and restart it if you want, or watch it later. But I'm almost done. I'm gonna add a little bit. I'm gonna add a tiny one to the S bottom. See right down here? And just a tiny bit. Stop that. I'll add this other tiny bit to this, and I will add a little to the E. We're almost done. This is the worst one to add foam tape to because there's so many tiny curves and skinny legs, but it really does make a difference. Okay, so I got my foam tape on and I'm gonna put it right in my little tray, shake it around a little bit. Whoops, gotta be careful. Spilled a little. Okay, so I made a mess in here, but it's no big deal because I take it out and I blow it off, and then I thump it. Just kind of, I go like this and thump it to get all of that powder off. But boy, it's faster, and I'm always in a hurry. Okay, so my Hello Sunshine is ready to go. And let's look. All right, so I'm not gonna stick it down yet. I'm gonna look at it, and I see that we use a piece of the zip strip, and I want it to be straight. You could just use your scissors, but sometimes I don't think I cut it so straight. So I'm gonna cut off the blue. You plus me equals awesome. If you don't like that saying, you don't have to use it. And then if you look over here on layout 2, we use the red one. It says love your smile. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it while I have the trimmer out. And then I have these extras cut. All right, so I am going to get this out here. The Hello Sunshine goes right to the edge. This is going to go right underneath it. And then the flower sticker. All right, I am not gonna pop up the flower sticker. The reason for that is I like to have certain things stand out. So if I feel like if I pop up the flower sticker, it's going to be competing with the Hello Sunshine. So see how I have it here? But do you see how I have it overlapping the photo? Well, I don't want it stuck to my photo. So I am going to just stick that edge in here to get it unsticky. Flick it off. I just do that to flick it off, see? Okay, so just this side is no longer sticky. So I'm gonna get this down so that I like it. So that means I want it to go, make sure that green one, I don't want that green sticking. I don't want these things sticking to my photo, and especially because I haven't put my photos on yet. All right, so if I put that about there, look at that, no sticking, easy peasy. All right, now I know where I'm gonna put my title because I like things to overlap. I don't like things to float around on my page. There is a time and a place for things to float, and I have layouts like that, but most of the time I like elements on my page to be anchored, all right? If you are working on your scrapbook page and you think something just isn't right and you're not happy with, the first thing I would say is to check your color balance. Do you have a color there that doesn't make sense? Or do you have a color there that you've only used once and you haven't used it more than once where it goes across the page and draws your eyes? Oh, I didn't want to do that. That's okay. I'll show you another trick. I don't want the S. I want the S to stand up, but I don't want it to be sticky. Okay, so I'm just gonna do that. Wipe that off. And the reason why is I don't like things sticking to my photos, so you'll see. So take off your adhesive. If you have puffy tape there and you took it off and it's sticky, you can take your embossing buddy if you want to use that. Am I taking it all off everywhere? Yep. Or you can just take your finger, or you can stick it right back in your tray with the cornstarch. Okay, so now I can put my Hello Sunshine on. And because I don't want it floating, I'm gonna have my Hello Sunshine touch the flowers a little bit. The H is gonna touch the border, and the sunshine will go in. But the good news is the sunshine won't stick to my page, to where my photo is gonna be, which I love. That's a personal preference. If you don't mind sticking things to your photos and you're adding your photos on right now, that is fine. Now this is gonna hold a 5x7 photo, and I chose that because it says Hello Sunshine, you plus me equals awesome. It could be you and anyone you want in that picture. And I am gonna pull it over a little bit. And again, that's because I like things to drag my eye across the layout to the page too. So I'm not putting it right here, I'm putting it over here, because right now we have a lot on this page and we're slowly working our way over to that page. All right, so then the next thing I'm gonna do is add a couple of these stickers, and you can pop them up with foam tape if you are a popper. I am gonna stick one on there, I'm gonna stick one down here, and I used one little flower, this guy. Okay, pull that off, stick that there, closer. Okay, so I'm making the visual triangle, but they're not equally spaced. I like to do the visual triangles. Oops, I didn't want that one. I'm gonna stick it there. I like to do the visual triangles, but also being offset in distance. Hello Sunshine. Okay, so now all we have left to do on this page are to add some sparkles, some silver glitter gems. And again, we're gonna work in the rule of threes, offsetting it. So I'm gonna have a big one and a small one, okay? Two, and I'm gonna have my third point in that triangle come up here. So see, I have a triangle going. Hope I'm really good on camera. I have a triangle going right here, okay? And I'm gonna add my third one up here, and I'm gonna do a biddy, but you can do, not a biddy, but the smaller of the silver gems. And I'm gonna do it like that. So now I still have a visual triangle there. Okay, easy enough. Layout 1, page 1 of layout 2. Let me say it correctly. Okay, so what I told you is that sometimes I do a trick with my sticker sheets, and I don't want to do it all right now because it can take a few minutes, but oftentimes I will pull this off because it bugs me. I just want all my stickers to be free and easy to grab. So a lot of times when I sit down to create, my sticker sheets will not have this excess around them, okay? But I'm not going to do it all today because you want to make sure you don't, you know, pull up any stickers you don't want, but I wanted to show you that it makes it so much easier. And I usually do it all at once and just have it sitting there on my desk. But I'll just show you. So you can do that. You can remove that whole backing, and then look how much easier it is when you want to pull your stickers off. You don't have all of these little skinny pieces in the way where you're worrying more about tearing your sticker, okay? Because you've removed the excess. Look, now I'm going. Let me at least get this part off. So that's just something you can do if you want. Said I wasn't going to, but then I got on a roll. See, look, this sheet is so much cleaner. Visually, I can also really see the size of my stickers better. Okay, let's put together page 2. So, page 2, here are my pieces. It's pretty easy. Basically, we are going to add 3 photo mats. We're going to cluster, we're going to overlap, and we're going to add some room for our journaling strips and for our zip strip, okay? So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and attach the candy apple cardstock photo mat right on to the Lagoon banner piece. And then we're also going to add the zip strip right to the edge. Okay, easy, 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 easy. All right, next, I'm gonna get ready to add my photo mats down. A lot of times I get the adhesive on them and then I move them around the page like this to figure out where they're gonna go. So if you want to do it exactly like the directions say, you put your paper on, get your ruler out, and it says you will attach the top 6x4 candy apple photo mat approximately 2 inches down from the top and a 1/2 inch in from the inside page. So that's 2 inches, 1/2 inch, boom. Okay, so this one's close because it's making your eye move from one page over to the other. You will attach the bottom one directly below it and offset by 1.5 inches in. So about right there. And we're almost done, girls. We are right at the end of this layout. Easy. Now, this layout, Dana, I am sure would pop this up. And that would be so cute. Popping this up, give dimension, especially if you pop the main focal point photo up over there. Notice that on the adhesive, I didn't add any down here. That's because it's going to be overlapping. So I'm kind of clustering and overlapping. Nothing is floating. So I'm going to set that down and I'm going to add adhesive to my journaling strips. A lot of times I'll use glue dots on my journaling strips just to make sure they're really, really stuck down. But I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to set them lightly to see where if I like where I put them. I offset them. I don't measure. I eyeball it. You could get a ruler out if you wanted to. There we go. All right, there we go. Now it's time for the stickers, and we're using a heart sticker and both flower stickers. So see, with that white background off, it's super easy to see where your stickers go. And I'm going to go ahead and pop this guy up. And the heart sticker is going to overlap. So you know what I'm going to do, right? You know I'm going to get the whole thing in. I dipped it in here to get it unsticky. Flicking it off. Okay. And I did not put any foam tape on that bottom edge because it's going to overlap. And then I'm also going to pop up the yellow flower right here. Balance. Have 2 popped up on the page. And I'm going to stick it in here, get it unsticky, flick it off. I always blow the backside just to be safe. Okay, so when you look at the instructions, you see we're putting a flower down here, and we're putting a white flower down here, and then we're putting that heart up there. So go ahead and take our adhesive off. Overlap it slightly. Take our adhesive off, overlap it slightly, and we're going to pull in that last white flower because we want cohesiveness. So where does it show? It shows it about right there. Now we just need to add a couple of our gems. Remember the whole triangle theory. Okay, so we're going to add one right here, and look what we made. We made a visual triangle, right? We only have one. So what we're going to do is add 2 more to this upper corner to create that visual triangle with the gems. So 1, 2, look at that. Pull it off. Do you see that? Boom, visual triangle. Okay, so let's move everything out of the way and look at this layout we just completed before we end this video. How easy was that? Move this out of the way. All right, how easy was that? Right? You guys like it? I hope so. I hope you learned some good design techniques, some design theories, I should say, color balance, triangles, visual triangles, and why you would do certain things the way you do, like not having things float, but having them touch and overlap. Okay, we are gonna come back in a few minutes and we will start assembling layout 3. So go ahead and finish this one up and get out your paper that you have cut for layout 3. Get it ready to go, and we'll whip this sucker out in no time. All right, talk to you guys soon.